Good morning from the Hollywood Times and Aspiring Magazine. Valerie Milano, the editor-in-chief, and I want to welcome our guest today, and I'm going to have him introduce himself. Thank you so much.
Hmm. Hello, so good to be with you. I'm Sandi DuBowski, and I'm the director producer of Sabbath Queen, the new documentary, and we are in theatrical release in New York and in a moment, LA.
Yay. Thank you so much for being with us. Sabbath Queen is a feature documentary filmed over 21 years and follows Rabbi Amichai Lau-Lavie's epic journey as the dynastic heir of 38 generations of Orthodox rabbis, including the chief rabbi of Israel. He is torn between rejecting and embracing his destiny and becomes a drag queen rebel, a queer bio dad, and the founder of Lab Shul, an everybody friendly, God optional, artist driven, pop up experimental congregation. I'm so glad that Sandi was able to share this with me and so many others. This is a fascinating and powerful story, Sandi, about an amazing human being. How did you come up upon this story and when?
Hmm. So in the late 90s, I did a film, Trembling Before God, about Hasidic and Orthodox Jews that are lesbian or gay. And I was looking for people to be in the film. So I was in Jerusalem and everyone said, well, the chief rabbi's nephew is gay. So I asked Amichai to be in the film and he refused because he's too much of a diva and he wanted his own movie. He said, I don't do collage. So, so we became dear friends and, we built 5 years of friendship. And then in 2003, 21 years ago, I started to film.
And this is also a story about a family. Was the rabbi's family cooperative during the years of your filming?
Hmm. So as you can imagine, these are like the Kennedys of Judaism. I mean, their dynasty is quite incredible. So there's a lot of delicacy and sensitivity. So I actually waited 13 years to ask his Orthodox rabbi brother, who's straight, to be in the movie. And he said yes. And, having done Trembling Before God and spent 6 years trying to crisscross the globe and try to find any parents who had a gay or lesbian child to be in Trembling, and I couldn't find any. This is really historic, that this very religious traditional family is coming forward and is embracing their gay member publicly. It's a big deal.
Yeah. So tell us about the cooperation of the
Mhm.
family.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, Amichai just watched with his mother the film in a sneak preview in Jerusalem, and she held his hand through the whole movie, and she's so proud. And, I think that it's a really interesting family because, Amichai is not Orthodox. He's very progressive. He's quite radical. He has a God optional synagogue. He's a drag queen. He's a queer dad. I mean, there's so many layers of his story. Certainly he's very pro-peace and, protesting and he's just, it's amazing how in these times when, a lot of our conversations have broken down and we're living in a time where we are in sometimes very toxic, polarized times where we can't even talk to each other. I think there's something really interesting that people are finding in the film is that here are people who don't necessarily agree, but they disagree with love and respect. And there's something really hopeful about that and a role model for our times.
The use of archival footage along with home movies was a brilliant technique. And you were involved in many aspects of the making of this film, director, co-writer, producer, cinematographer. How much input did you have with the editing team?
Mm. We worked daily. I mean, we worked for 6 years. We had 1,800 hours of original footage. We had 1,100 hours of archival film and video. We had enormous number of photographs. So it was a very challenging crafting, of taking this, you know, behemoth of material and crunching it into an hour 45 gripping, narrative story. And so I'm really proud that we did it and that people are really resonating with the fact of this film holding so much worlds, holding so many worlds, the radical fairy queer world, the kind of religious seminary world, his Orthodox Holocaust family story. There's so much there's so many worlds that we enter that we often don't have access to. And so yeah, trying to kind of create something that felt like a real through line, where we could move emotionally through all these worlds. And yeah, I'm incredibly proud of how we found the story, in the sprawl.
Sabbath Queen is a hit with the critics and the judges at the festival at which it has been screened. What has been the reaction of the audiences? Has there been pushback from the Orthodox Jewish community? And do you anticipate moving forward to
Hmm.
continue working with all any pushbacks? Talk about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're like waiting. In fact, Amichai keeps asking the question. He's like, who are the people who hate the film? Where are they? Like, we're not getting that. We're getting a real love, from people who are on different spectrums, people who are maybe more right, people who are more left, people who feel differently about the issues of Israel and Gaza and Palestine, people who feel, like, they have, I don't know, different approaches to tradition and religion, So it's really fascinating. I mean, we are a baby, right? We're like almost 6 months old. So the film's like still finding its way in the world. And now that it's in theaters, it certainly is like someone brought his Orthodox brother to see the film. And they just talked and talked and talked, and this guy's gay. And so is a gay and a straight Orthodox family. And a mom just brought she just came this week. People are coming to the film multiple times. So she came back with her 16-year-old and her college student age daughter. And when the daughter went off to the restroom, the mom confided in me. She said, my daughter just told me that the film just changed her life and that she couldn't imagine how to be a Jew right now. And the film just like gave her this roadmap, and Amichai really inspired her. We had a person in Rome Film Festival who I did a whole venture across Europe to Rome, to Leipzig, Amsterdam, London, Zurich. And we had a person in Rome say, I thought all Jews were fundamentalists. I didn't realize that you could bring this progressive Jewish vision. Like you upended all my assumptions. So we've had people who are mixed, like so much of the film's about interfaith marriage and how in the 21st century we're so mixed in so many ways. And so all these people are coming and saying, this is my story. Like, I had a Hindu filmmaker who grew up in India, and she said, my grandfather was a Hindu priest, and he used to make us pray at the temple 3 hours a day, every day. And your film is so much about my story, about what it means to liberate ourselves from these very ultra conservative religions and traditions and find our spirituality, for today. So it's just amazing to me. I mean, I just am gathering all of these audience reactions and stories and how people are finding the film so reflective of their experience in so many different ways.
Lovely. Wonderful. Well, tell our readers and our viewers how we can find out more about the film, more about you,
Mhm.
websites, social
Yeah.
media, what?
So we do have Instagram, which is Sabbath Queen Film. We have a website, sabbathqueen.com. People can always reach out at hello@sabbathqueen.com. We're in the IFC Center in New York right now. Got held over for a third week. We're opening at the Laemmle theaters in LA. We're premiering at lots of film festivals. We're going to go to the Palm Springs International Film Festival in January. We're actually going to premiere in Israel in a few weeks. So the film's really going everywhere. We're being booked for theatrical in other cities. So it's quite extraordinary. I think it's going way beyond what we ever dreamed or imagined.
Wonderful, wonderful, Sandi. Well, I was just about to ask you or say, look forward to meeting you sometime in person, but now I know we will see each other at the Palm Springs International Film Festival. So
That's
please let's
great.
make a point to meet up in person
Yeah,
rather than Zoom.
that'd be
And
great.
thank you again for your time. We are the
Yeah.
Hollywood Times today and aspiringmagazine.com. And what would you like to say?
I just forgot that if people are watching, we're actually doing tons of live events at the Laemmle theaters starting on Thursday, December 5th until the 12th. So we're doing pretty much Q&As and engagement every night. So people should just check out our website and the Laemmle website because we're going to be there. We're going to be in LA for a week and we can't wait
Yes.
to talk to
And our
audience.
article, because we're getting our article out in the next day or two. So we
Great.
will make sure they can find you for
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you.
And our Facebook page and our Instagram and our, everything else, YouTube channel is the Hollywood Times Official. So thank you so much, Sandi. I know you've got a
Thank you.
lot to do, and
No,
I appreciate this time this morning. So keep
appreciate
up the
it.
great work.
Thanks
Okay.
so much. Take
Thanks so
care.
much.
Bye-bye.
Have a great one. Bye-bye.